Welcome to week 2 of Trauma Informed Yoga for better sleep. Today you'll need 2 large pillows for the practice or stacked blankets, as well as a couple of blocks if you have those handy, and something that can be used such as a scarf or strap for when we do leg stretches. So maybe a long, thin scarf, or maybe you have a belt or strap handy that you can use as well. Any of these options are available, and just put those within reaching distance for your practice today. You may want to put on your playlist if you want some background music for your practice as well. So as we get started, you'll begin to come to your mat, bring your low back towards your pillows or your stacked blankets, and lie back down against the support beneath you. This is meant to be a gentle heart opener, so you can place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly, hands at the sides, and your feet can be stretched out or in a butterfly. So you have many options here. If you're taking a butterfly form, you can also begin to draw your blocks, if you have those, under your knees, just for extra support. Whichever form that you find is most restorative for you in this time, most comfortable for you in this time, I invite you to take that. It may take a few tries getting into that form, but when you do, just begin to settle into this moment and begin to settle your breath, taking fuller inhalations and slower exhalations as you welcome yourself to this sacred space and sacred time. Give yourself permission to simply be and breathe here, knowing that that is enough. Knowing that in this moment you are completely supported. And then I invite you to bring both hands over your heart, just turning your attention inside. And if you wish, you can begin to set an intention or a heart focus for your practice today. And from here, I invite you to bring your palms together at your heart center, and then begin to spread the 3 middle fingers apart, keeping your pinkies and your thumbs together. This is creating a lotus flower at your heart. Take a couple of natural breaths in and out here. And you might even begin to picture a lotus flower just forming around your heart space. We have many symbols through myth and story and reality of the concept of beauty from ashes. We have the symbol of the phoenix, a mythological creature that catches fire, turns to ash, and is reborn out of its ashes. And then there's the symbol of the lotus flower, or the lotus blossom, where the flower grows out of muddy, murky waters into this beautiful, vibrant lotus blossom. And while as humans it is challenging at times for us to see the beautiful and the magnificent in the mud and the murk, I welcome you into this practice that we are about to do called Lotus Breath. Just focusing on where you've been, where you are, and where you still want to be, knowing that you have purpose and value, and that you are on your journey becoming your own version of your lotus, where you can rise and bloom even from ash and mud. And so I invite you with your pinkies and thumbs together, your middle fingers open and wide, to begin to breathe fully in and out. And then as you inhale through your nose, I invite you to exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out a dandelion flower. And do this a couple of times, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. You might even sigh your breath out on your next exhale, breathing in, breathing out. And this time you might even try and focus your breath towards your lotus flower at your heart. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling, allowing your breath to fill the blossom created by your hands. You might do this a couple of times on your own. Breathing in, breathing out. And picturing in your mind's eye this concept of beauty from ashes. You might even imagine yourself becoming one with your lotus flower. And you might, when you're complete, bring your hands back to prayer hands or Anjali Mudra, just pressing all fingers together. Hands at the heart. Taking time in this present moment. And if you wish, you can also begin to bring your hands towards your forehead, the center of your forehead, creating that lotus flower here, thumbs and pinkies together, opening through the palms, breathing. Just allowing this posture to be a reminder of your growth and healing and transformation journey. And then bring your hands back over your heart, one hand placed over the other one in this supportive form of self-soothing and self-compassion. You are doing so good. And I encourage you to remind yourself of that. Continue to notice the support beneath you. And continue to carry this lotus flower image through your practice in your mind's eye. Good. Feel free to bring hands down by your sides. Taking a few more moments here just to be and breathe. You are enough. You have done enough. Remember who you are. And when you're ready, you might just wish to get a couple of wrist rolls here, forward and back and around. You may also wish to take your head slowly side to side, allowing one ear to fall to one side and then the other to the other side a couple of times. And if you have blocks under your knees, you can take those over to the sides. Slowly begin to bring the soles of your feet back to your mat, knees pointed up towards the sky. And then we're going to press into the soles of the feet, rooting down through all four corners, and begin to lift the hips up, coming into a bridge here. Hands can be at the sides. Great. Slowly release the hips back down. And from here, you're welcome to Stretch your right leg up towards the sky and then bring it back down. Same thing, other side, stretching the left leg up and then planting the left foot back down onto the mat. And I invite you to windshield wiper your knees side to side, creating this seamless motion. No need to rush. Take your time, maybe even pause your knees on one side, getting a little bit of a low back release. And then you can take your knees and pause towards the other side. And remember, it's always okay to pause and take your time. From here, I invite you to turn over to the right side of your body, just allowing your ear to rest on your arm. And then you're going to use your hands to push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Feel free to take any props to the side and behind you. And then you can bring your blocks, if you have them, to the top of your mat for when we begin to use those. Settle into a comfortable seat, anchor through both sitting bones, and allow your left ear to fall towards your left shoulder and your right ear to fall towards your right shoulder. Then drop the chin down towards the right shoulder and lift the chin up. You're just getting a little bit of a rocking motion here at the right shoulder, coming from ear to chin. And then slowly take your chin through the center towards your chest and over to the opposite shoulder. Same thing here, ear to shoulder and then chin to shoulder. Ironing out any kinks here. We hold a lot of tension here often. And then we'll circle the chin and head back around to the opposite shoulder. Feel free to do this a couple of times on your own. Breathing as you move here. Great, we'll come back through the center, bring hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the hands up, and exhale, intertwine the fingers, push the palms up. Take the shoulders down and up a couple of times. Good, we're gonna open the arms wide, bring them down by the sides, and then lift your left arm up and side stretch over to the right. Feel free to come to palm or forearm. Breathe into the side waist, and then you can switch sides. Great, anchor through both sitting bones, open the heart. Notice the stretch in your side waist before lifting back up and switching whatever leg is in front for you in your seated space. From here, we'll take the torso side to side. Rocking motion in the rib cage and the upper body. Noticing how this feels for you. And maybe even pausing on one side for a deeper stretch and on the other side as well. Good. When you feel complete, we're going to lift the left arm again and side twist over to the right side. Broaden the collarbones, breathe, and then begin to lift the right arm and take it up and over. A little twisted side stretch. And then that arm will release behind you. Take it to the other side. Twisting over to the left. Good. Left arm sweeps up and over the head. It's okay if your fingers track up a little bit. Back to your twist and back to the front. From here, we'll come into our butterfly, soles of the feet together, and into our upper body semicircles. Now, taking the heart forward and to one side, and forward and to the other side. Feel free to take that into a full circle. Circling around the tailbone and taking that in both directions. Lovely. We are going to stretch the legs forward, coming to what we call staff, and just begin to point and flex your feet. You might even roll your ankles a couple of times. And then begin to reach for your scarf or belt or strap, whatever prop you're using today. And we'll take that on the soles of both feet. From here, we're going to come into a fold. So coming into caterpillar, just begin to drop the head and neck. Feel free to curl the back body. And you can fold as much as you need here. You can have hands on the shins or on the floor if you don't have a scarf or prop. And if you wish, you can hold that prop. And don't feel any need to strain or force here. You can always sit back up straight if this is enough for you today, stretching through the hamstrings. You can always reach for your scarf a little bit higher or lower, just depending on your needs. Good. We're going to begin to draw the sole of the right foot in and then fold over the outstretched left leg. Take a couple of breaths here. You will notice my dog Bentley making a cameo appearance through a good bit. And then we're going to stretch that left leg out and open and side stretch over the left leg. Great. We'll come up, sitting up straight. And from here, we're going to begin to switch sides. So scarf comes on the opposite foot. Bring the left foot in and fold over the outstretched right leg. Lovely. We'll begin to shift the right leg out and open to the right side and take a nice big side bend here. Full breath in and out. Another. And then we'll lift back up and stretch the legs back into a cross-legged. Remove your scarf or strap. And we're going to come over to tabletop. Wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. And then begin to take your hips side to side, left and right, kneading through the balls of your feet and your toes. Good. Breathe here and begin to stretch out your left leg behind you and then curl it in towards the belly, doing that a couple of times. Lifting out, curling in. And then from here, you might want to bring your blocks in front of you if you have them. Step your left foot forward and come into a low lunge. Begin to sit through the hips, open the heart. Breathe. And then begin to shift your hips back, coming to a low runner's lunge, drawing the front toes towards you, stretching through the hamstring muscle. And then you can create a flow here, rocking forward into low lunge and then back into your hamstring stretch. Follow your own rhythm and pace here, doing this a couple of times, using your breath to guide your movement. Finding your intuitive rhythm and flow. On your last rock forward into low lunge, you'll plant your right hand on the mat and stack your left arm up towards the sky. And then get about 2 or 3 big arm circles, opening the shoulder. And then planting both hands back on your mat or back on your blocks and taking your left leg underneath you. Same thing other side here. So we're going to stretch the right leg back, flex the foot, and then draw the knee towards the belly. Kick it back out. Do that a couple more times. And then we'll step the right foot forward, coming into low lunge. Sit the hips down, open the heart. And whenever you feel ready, you can shift the hips back, draw the front toes towards you. And you can be seated low or high here, just however your hamstring is today, honor that space. And then create your flow, moving from low lunge into your hamstring stretch. Do that a couple more times. And as you make your way back to low lunge, you can plant your left hand on the mat or block and stack the right arm up towards the sky, taking a couple of big shoulder rolls, arm circles here as well. And then both hands are going to plant back down on the mat. You can step your right knee underneath your right hip, and we're going to take this into child's. Big toes touching, knees to outer edges of the mat as you walk the hands forward, and rest your forehead either on the mat or on one of your blocks. And breathe here, allow your heart to melt, your low back to release as much as it can today. This is a beautiful way to meet yourself where you are, to allow that expansion in the front body and back body, an expansion around the heart space. Feel free to rock your forehead side to side, getting a little forehead massage. And then when you feel ready, you can walk your hands over to the right side, getting a little bit of a side body stretch here. And then you can walk your hands through the center and over to the left side. Noticing the stretch happening not only in the side body, but in the hips and the legs, and even the upper arms. Good, we're gonna walk the hands back through the center, return to child's, and then we'll walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna transition into a hero's posture. So you can do heroes either sitting back on the heels, knees close together. You can also curl under the toes if you wish, sitting back on the heels, or place a block underneath your sitting bones. Feel free to explore any of these variations. Find what works for you, and then you can take that posture. You're going to bring both hands over the heart. Take a couple of breaths in and out, a couple of moments. Remember, you are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think. From good old Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh. He had some great wisdom. You're stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think. From here, we're going to bring hands together, Anjali Mudra at the heart center, and then begin to bring the fingers to the shoulders and do some shoulder rolls, allowing your elbows to draw circles in the air. And then we'll take the arms behind us, intertwine the fingers, draw the knuckles down and back. Feel free to open the throat or to drop the chin towards the chest. Whatever feels better today. Honor yourself, honor your body, meet yourself where you are. Then we'll stretch the right hand forward, draw the fingers towards you, and then down towards the mat. And then flip the palm out and draw the fingers back from there. Get a wrist roll here. And then we'll stretch the right arm across the heart, up and over the head, and bend the elbow. We're going to side stretch to the left, just a little mini side stretch. And come back through the center. Other side. So left hand comes forward, fingers down, palm out. Fingers up, palm out. And fingers down, palm in. Just stretching out the wrist here. Feel free to get your wrist rolls. Forward and back. And then we'll stretch the arm across the heart, up into the air, and down behind the back. Side stretch over to the right. And come back through the center, arms open wide and come down by the sides. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, curl them towards the heart. Once again, inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. As we welcome Bentley beside us. Great. So from here, if you had a block under your hips, you can remove that and come out of your hero's posture. And then from here, we are going to settle in down towards our sitting bones as we stretch the legs forward in front of us. From here, we're going to stretch the left leg forward as you cross the ankle of the right foot above the knee of the left leg. Feel free to pause here or to fold forward as much as you can today. From here, we'll step the sole of the right foot across the left knee and twist over to the right side. If you wish, you can also draw the heel of your left foot in towards your outer right hip. And that's just if it's accessible. If you wish to take this one step further, you can also begin to stack the knees, one on top of the other, feet at the sides. So this is a little bit of a deeper hip stretch here. So again, honor where you're at. We're going to take arms out and right arm underneath left, backs of the hands together, coming to eagle arms. Pause here. You might even picture this as a phoenix. Recounting our theme of lotus and phoenix. Rising, living, transforming. You might even bow forward, symbolizing that return to ash. And with your lift up and your next in-breath, you can symbolize that rise and transformation, arms up and out. And then we're going to switch legs here. So you can gently unwind them, shimmy out the knees if you need that, roll the ankles. And then we'll take the ankle of the left foot above the right knee. Feel free once again to sit tall or hinge from the hips and fold forward as much as you'd like today. Release the head and neck if that feels all right. Breathe. And at your time, you can cross the sole of the right foot over the left knee and twist over to the left side. Feel free to draw the heel of the right foot towards you, towards your outer left hip. And once again, you're welcome to stack the knees. And then take eagle arms or phoenix arms on this side by opening the arms wide and taking left arm under right. Cross the elbows, backs of the hands together. Pause to breathe. Take a moment. And then feel free to embody that theme of the phoenix settling in and being reborn rebirthed out of ash by rising up and uncrossing the arms, sweeping the arms or wings up. Hands return to the heart. Great job. We're going to uncross the ankles, stretch the legs forward again. Get any motion you need here. You can wiggle the toes, the feet, or the ankles. And then from here, we're going to settle into our back body. Now, if you need pillows or blankets under your back, you can adjust them and put them there, or you can come straight down on your mat. Either option is welcome. Bring soles of the feet to the mat when you're ready. Bring shoulder blades closer together. And then we're going to take our scarf or strap across the sole of the right foot, stretching and extending the right leg up towards the sky and stretching the left leg out on the mat. You might just notice the sensation in the back of the leg before then moving to your hip opener and releasing your right leg over to the right side. And then we'll draw the leg back through, bend the right knee, and you're going to take the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Now, it does not have to touch it, and just allow the right knee to come open to the side. And then on your next inhale, I invite you to draw your knee back through the center and take it over to the opposite side, coming into a twist. And your right arm can either stretch out to the side or come to your right hip, whichever feels better. You can also slightly bend your left knee to release the hips and the low back a little more. Great, we'll come back through the center and switch whatever foot your strap or scarf is on. Extend the left leg to the sky, extend the right leg on the mat. When you're ready, you can take your scarf in your left hand and extend your leg over to the left side. Wonderful. We will draw the leg back through. Begin to bend the left knee just like on the other side, drawing the sole of your left foot to the inner thigh. Once again, you may have space between the foot and the thigh. Take about 2 more breaths here. And once again, on your inhale, you can draw the knee through the center and exhale to move into your twist, drawing your knee to the opposite side. Feel free to bend the right knee as well. As you also ground through both shoulders. And then you can draw the knee back through the center and take your prop and you're going to take both feet into it. Yeah, and extend both feet up towards the sky. If you don't have the scarf, you can use your hands to wrap around the back of your thighs. And we're just going to get a little teeter-totter motion, bringing legs up and down a few inches at a time. And then removing your prop over to the side. And from here, I invite you to reach for one of your blocks, and we're going to move into a supported bridge from here. So begin to lift the hips, press into the soles of the feet, and take your block either on the medium setting or on the low setting underneath your sacrum. And you can explore which one feels better today. And allow the hips to release down towards the block. And you can either keep your knees bent, or you can practice a legs up the wall variation by taking legs extended up straight, taking a wide-legged form, getting some stretching here, or simply remaining in that supported bridge with soles of the feet on the mat. Take your time here just to be supported, or to explore any intuitive motion. And when you're ready, you can begin to lift the hips to remove the block to the side and lower the hips back down to the mat. And I invite you once again to windshield wiper your knees a time or two, and then to hug your knees in towards your chest or belly, rocking side to side. Getting that low back release, perhaps drawing circles with your knees. And taking any final motion you might need as we prepare for our final resting form, Shavasana. Extending arms and legs out on your mat in the floor. Feel free to bring your hands over your heart, over your belly, or at your sides as you settle in to this place of rest and reaping the benefits of your practice today as we wind down. Steady your breath. And if your mind starts to wander at any point, it's okay. Just graciously notice and draw it back to your breath, your body, the support beneath you, and this moment. And I invite you to take another settling breath in and out here as you release any tension you find between your eyebrows or around your eyes. As you soften your facial muscles, and release your jaw away from the roof of your mouth. Allow your head and shoulders to be heavy here, your heart space open and free, and your belly space soft and unrestricted. Let your arms and legs be completely supported here, and your hands and fingers, feet and toes, effortless and at ease as we practice the art of sacred rest and of surrender. I invite you to slowly begin to deepen your breath and to make any slight motion comfortable to you, such as wiggling fingers and toes or taking your head side to side. And as you become ready, you're welcome to turn over to either side of your body to rest your ear on your arm and to take time to cradle around your heart center. And as you become ready, feel free to use your hands to guide you back up as you return to a comfortable seated position, drawing hands together at heart center. I invite you to take a final full breath in and out here. And recall any intention or heart focus you may have set for this practice, as well as any of the benefits of your practice today, internal or external. And then take time to reflect on how you can carry these with you on your journey off the mat. And I thank you for sharing in this practice with me today. And grace and peace be with you always. Shalom and namaste.